All right, you are live. I'll give it a sec here. It likes to cut the first few seconds off of most videos, so I'm just gonna make sure it's not doing that. I'm just hanging out, as the title says, just a little improvisation, meditation, the standard prior to my lessons. But also, if anybody's watching this back, I appreciate you more than you know, sincerely. If there's anything I can help you with in your own personal journey on guitar, I am more than happy in any way. And I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know some other things I can cover, or if there's anything I can help with, or if you have any tips and tricks for me. We're all in this community together, and guitar is such a cool thing that to develop an ego over such a cool community thing is just, first off, at your detriment, and second off, the complete opposite thing to do. So let's keep these things going and keep synergy at the core of what we do as guitar players. Okay, enough soft rambling. Just real quick to say how much I love this guitar again. I've talked about it for a while now. I think I've had it for almost a year now. I just recently got it to where it was finally, with these things. I remember I watched a video about John Mayer talking about when he got that black 60 Strat. I remember him talking about how it just wasn't right for him when he first got it. He just couldn't jive with it, and so what he did was he put it in his freezer. He had a deep freezer, and he kept it in the deep freezer, and he was like, all right, you do something, please become better. And it didn't work for him, but like that same endeavor is kind of the thing I think we all go through. We find something really like, and then you want to kind of keep putting time into it until it becomes yours and the one that is good for you. And so finally, like even with the trim arm and stuff, I'm still staying in tune. My ultimate test for tuning is that E right there. Having this, usually if this sounds good, we're good to go. Yeah, so it's funny, I always say in my videos, I'm playing through this little it's a Vox Rhythm 5. It's a little 5-watt. It's true, like solid state. It's not digital. I don't think it might actually be, because it is multi-effects. I don't know. It sounds incredible for what it is. It's got a little tiny, like 6-inch or 8-inch speaker. But man, I don't know why it's got this. This, like, I can get my tone zone to do what it's supposed to do and have that quack. It sounds so exaggerated. It's great. Even this, I'm using my, which I find to be a dark pickup sometimes, fast track, or pro track, sorry. On that one. I suck at sweeps, man. side. Here's some food for thought for you. Jimi Hendrix. So, interestingly enough, everybody obviously knows the, let's say 10, now I would say that number is way higher than that, but let's say 10 songs that people know by Jimi Hendrix, a rough grouping here of songs that we have. Generally, we're talking about a bluesy guy unless we're considering a pretty, and I think it's a kind of standard progression, the way it kind of hangs around as well. I think there's the B minor for Axis Boulder's Love, and then same thing with Little Wing, which is also kind of a standard progression, but also done in Hendrix's own way, so it becomes this thing. And my point in telling you this is, those were all pretty standard things he did. Hey Joe, he's gonna always have this sort of, this bluesy thing, same Red House. We're still very bluesy here. And that one's just a straight 1-4-5. 12 bar, I think. Right? Even if we jazz it up there like that, it still comes off as being a very bluesy thing, right? But interestingly enough, I saw this video the other day that I had never seen before, and it was Hendrix on stage, and he started getting booed. And he said, I don't give a F if you boo me, just boo in key. That's what he said. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And that's a funny anecdote from this, but it specifically, the reason what I'm talking about is he was playing new stuff, right? Now the song I'm going to show you is not new stuff, right? But it is something I think that he was moving towards, and to me shows that he was on a path of all guitar players and all people like him that are obsessed with the instrument, and that is to try to get better at it and to try to do new things with it. So let's Manic Depression. Now the way you hear it being played in the album is this, right? He's doing these little, you can hear the slide, which is a very Hendrix thing. But what's the but the very Hendrixy thing to grab the major chord, the A shape, and then play the pentatonic shape in front of it, right? Like that. So two sides of it. In this case, he's doing 1 major 3 and 5, which is how I learned the song. I thought that's what he was doing initially. Right? So this shape, he's playing a big part of the major scale there, right? And the important triad shape here is what I always thought he was playing, but it's interesting to consider that he was kind of pushing his playing in that same direction of using the guitar more to dictate these things he was hearing. And I use that as my proof. And if I was going to write a paper for my old college professor, that's 100% a site that I would use. I would cite that for sure as a reference. So, and the cool thing with Hendrix too is that a lot of the stuff he was doing, especially with like Band of Gypsies, I think was further out there than anybody gives him credit for as far as like skill-wise on the guitar. And I've showed this riff before, but even the combination just of grabbing up. So now, inevitably, the 5 we already talked about. He's used that before, right? But to grab up in this sense of oh no, I'm sorry, he's not grabbing 5; he's just grabbing 2. And so that's an interesting thing, actually. That's interesting. That's such a cool thing that is so out. Such a cool thing that is so outside the normal what you would hear from him, right? And here he was on stage playing it, the only place that he did play it. I only heard live recordings of that. I haven't heard any studio stuff of that. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a really cool one. Here's while we're talking about this, as I get tangential, which I love to do in these videos, let's talk about a really cool way to force like a jazzy kind of sound in any sort of like blues thing, right? Let's say we're playing in a minor tonality, okay, and it would require something like that. Now, if we were playing with a major third and a minor 7, that's fine too, you know. You could probably shoehorn this in. But I think that a cool thing to do is to try to take, instead of us having this really friendly note here, we can really force that minor third, right? And now, of course, it's not the minor third over, now I'm playing the 5 here, right? I've come from 1 to 5, and I'm playing a dominant chord on 5, which is what you should be playing, right? But I'm going to take what would be the 4, right? And I'm going to turn it into this minor third. And it's a minor third on the degree we're in, right? So I'm making you hear this. Right? Now, the chord, what it is, would, I suppose, be an augmented chord, right? I think so. But that doesn't matter, right? We're considering this to be 2 notes from the dominant chord on 5 and 1 note from 1. And that note that I have on 1 is forcing you to hear that resolution, right? And forcing you to hear the dissonance, the fact that we are away from it, and aching to hear, right? And so that's a cool way. So if you're playing, let's say maybe we would take 1, and instead of playing like that, maybe we play with a 9 instead. You know, we could even throw in some other stuff too, but my point is maybe we turn 1 to a 9, we come to 5, and we hang on that, which really pushes that resolution. Now, there we'd have a choice if we wanted to come back with a major third. That's a good warm-up. So maybe we talk about, I'm not gonna stay on too long today. I appreciate, if anybody's in here, I appreciate you watching. But I want to talk a little bit more. I messed up Jeff Loomis. We'll see how it goes today. I did go over it, and so again, I'll show off the cool sweep part. But I also want to go over the stacking part. We have this. So I know where the parts are. It goes right off of where the last note was. So if we're playing here, and that's when we're coming down a whole step every time. So this is kind of picking up about what I was talking about, I think, a couple days ago, my last live stream. But I'll kind of catch you up to speed. We have this this kind of like it'd be like arpeggio or sweep arpeggio into alternate picking diminished shapes like this. So the first diminished shape is very difficult. It is. This is it's the same thing. If I'm grabbing, you can see here, I'm going to move up to this next position here and start and play the same shape again, like this, right? You could do the same thing again. It's the way that the diminished, with the guitar being tuned the way it is, the diminished shape just lays out 4 frets at a time. I've explained this before. There's other videos on it, and I could go into much more depth if you'd like me to. But in this case right here, we're starting in this big like this big A major thing, right? And then we come up in this big pattern. I like to start this on an upstroke, by the way. That allows me to catch that new string. And I've explained it in this way before. It's just like oops. It's been a while. I couldn't play that clean. That's clean and fast, right? And it feels comfortable to me too, right? But I never could do it if I started on a downstroke. It would be, I could, but it'd be like, man. Because I have to go down, up right there. Like that. Oh man. It's not nearly as clean, right? Right? That way right there, because I'm flipping my picking, right? He does 3 notes and then picks 4 notes, right? Which means that if I start on a downstroke, down, up, down, and then it's just going to be up, down, right? That's all it is. And so in this same sense, I want to start, because he's doing 3 notes first. It's a very similar pattern. I want to start with an upstroke. So this way with my string, when I go to, I call it a string skip here, and it kind of is because we are skipping that B string, right, and going to that E string there. That's going to be an upstroke now if I do that. Up, down, I'm sorry, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Really nice upstroke there. And that this position, or I should say, sorry, going outside the strings there is paramount, I think, for this little thing we're doing here. This, and so we come back up for the next A major position, and then move up to the next diminished position. Back down to this A major shape. Now you saw me go through that quickly. It's because again, it's just the same shape again, right? Same pattern, same shape, just moved up to the next position. Okay. Now when we come up to this part, we're gonna come back up. We're gonna come back up the scale. Go to the next position, which would be our normal A major shape. If you guys haven't checked out, you should probably go try to learn, and this sounds like a big arduous task I'm asking of you, and I'm really not. It's not a big task, okay? Just go look at it and learn the positions separately and think about the position. Don't really have to like play it like it or anything, but Jason Becker's Perpetual Burn, no, Serrana, I think that's Serrana, right? If we're looking at Serrana, it's going to show us all of our shapes of the fretboard, especially when we get to, we have like a right, and if we get these little connecting shapes in major and in minor, suddenly we see the whole fretboard every time we get to one of them, right? So if I'm sitting here and I'm playing this nice A major shape right here, I already can see all my other shapes, right? And it's only because I've worked out how far away these other ones are. You know, I can already see those as I'm playing this one. So these shapes, that's why you see me going to this so quickly. It's like, okay, just another shape, the next shape of A major. Well, it's because we've already come from this shape. It's time to come to this one, right? The cage method really helps with this. And it probably seems like I'm doing something that's like, oh, you know, that's a heavy thing right there. It's a very simple concept if you approach it as such, right? Don't let these people sit there and fill your ear with like, oh, you know, this is this far out concept just because they think it's something cool that they know. Don't let them hang all those monikers on it, right? It's not that difficult, okay? If you know the chords, you can map these things out. So I digress. Back to what I was saying. So we're gonna go to the next position, and then we're up here, right? We moved up to the next position. Played those notes, and now we're into our main E minor. Oops, sorry. And this part. Right, so this is that whole part, nice and slow. So if I should say, sorry. Yeah, that's right. And then same thing. And then same thing. Sorry. Now this part's cool, and this is the lick. There's two licks that I would take from this song. This one being the first one. If I can play it right. Goodness gracious, guys. Sorry. Okay, this one is much more simple than I'm making it seem right now. I promise you. Same concept, starting with an upstroke, right? We're just working through 3 positions of this, right? And now we're going up 1, sliding up with our pinky. So let me try that one more time. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, that's it. I suck, man. Well, that's why. Anyways, sorry, you had to deal with my little remedial training there, because that did not sound good. But anyways, this is a cool lick. You can throw this one in kind of anywhere, right? Especially if you have something that's going as far as this song is going, right? Anytime that you're kind of going 5 below, back to 1, right? You kind of have this bomb, right? And you can throw in this diminished lick, and this. It's the same kind of thing, any position. You can stay where you are, or you can build it up from like the whole rest of it, sorry. And those connect too. right? And again, my point in showing you this is the song is super cool. But the positions that we're connecting here, what we're trying to take from it and kind of put in our own thing, right? Okay, last part. I went over this yesterday, so I'm gonna kind of go through it a little bit quickly, but it's so cool. So right here, it's really cool because we're doing two major chords a tritone away from each other, and that's such a cool sound. Such an attractive sound for me. And so we can do this a couple ways, right? The way that Jeff does is he's just combining these positions again, right? He starts in our normal D or C shape, if that's what you want to call it, and then goes to the same shape, just in C sharp, which would be, I'm sorry, D sharp, which is where we are, right? And he connects this next shape. So instead of coming back down here to get to my A position, he's connecting it all the way up here to that position, right? So he does it in this way, right? That's kind of the pattern. Now, this pattern and how I'm connecting this is super difficult, but in the best way. Like, it feels like you're doing reps at the gym with this one, because you're literally having to you go back and forth. So slow. Of how little I've been playing my guitar over the past few months. How's it going, dude? Colin, what's up, buddy? Holy crap, that's my dude. Glad to see you, man. You should call me sometime, man. I miss you, dude. Right on. You should, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you know Jeff Loomis. I don't know if you've worked your way up to that kind of stuff yet, man, but I got a ton of stuff I could give you on it if you wanted. This stuff I'm showing here is like, just like ultra nerd stuff. Right? So anyways, we're going literally, how cool is that? We're going from second lowest octave of E all the way to the highest E I can get. I guess technically I could get a higher one technically, right? But yeah, so again, so all these patterns that we're doing are important to keep in mind, right? But not keep in the same place that we have them here, right? We're not trying to just play the song. We're trying to think about it in our own playing. For example, right? I can't remember where I got this pattern. I don't think I figured it out. I think I've connected like 2 or 3 things Rick Graham was doing. Rick Graham showed like really cool ways to play. 6-note arpeggios like that. It's not really sweeping, right? I'm still playing my normal shape here, and there's a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs in there. Usually I would do like I'd start on the A string, like that, right? Same thing though. Anyways, this little pattern. You can play either the minor 7 flat 5 version or the fully diminished version, and they live right next to each other, and it's really nice. And so I would say, if you guys are playing this with me, try to think about, and all I'm doing there is literally playing like my E shape, my big E shape, just the bottom few notes of it, with my octave being the lowest note, right? Going back and playing a D shape here, right? Now I'm including this other note here, right? You play like this, which you just bar, right? It's still just a D shape. I'm playing in a cheat way, right? So this whole thing, that's like that whole sound. So I would say, anytime you can find the raised 7, in this case, is a half step away from the root, and you see I'm playing A, right? Which is what we were in, right? That's what I'm doing, right? And what I've done there is, that might seem like it's pretty advanced, right? I'm playing my minor scale, and of course this is in my C major scale position, right? But I've grabbed these notes here, and I've started it with my raised 7 and my root, and all of a sudden, there's my raised 7 again and my root again, right? All of a sudden I have that sound, right? At any time that we go to that that raised 7 sound, we can throw in our diminished shape based off of that raised 7, okay? And the way that I'm going to play this is the same way that I just showed you. Sorry. Yeah, so same shape as you normally play with Ingve stuff. We're going to grab that note and that note. So you have a whole shape that's down here. That's what we're looking for, right? And then back down to your root. So right? That's what we're looking for. Now this moves the same way as all the other ones. Right? And I think that's a good practice to try out. But we can use this in our little shape. So if I was doing like a, like if we're doing like a, oh, I did minor 7 flat 5. Sorry. I'll show that too. We're just changing a couple notes here. And then the regular diminished. So it's just one. We're really just changing those 2 notes. So yeah, okay. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. Any questions or any tips or anything you guys have for me? I would love to see if one of your streams walked in. All right, buddy. Good talking to you, man. Please send me a text. It's been too long, buddy. I hope you're doing well. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'm gonna let this video stay up. Actually, I might just play for a minute or two, just messing around, and just let the video play out. But I appreciate you guys being here. I have a lesson here in just a few minutes. So, all right, thanks. Alright, dudes. You guys have a good one.